Welcome to Story Time with Miss Norton. Today is Picadome Spirit Week and it's day 3, which means it's math day today. So today's story has a little bit to do with some math. In today's story, there's going to be lots of different patterns I want you to listen for. And then I have a special challenge for you at the end. Are you ready? Here we go. The story today is called Grandma's Necklaces. A long time ago, when my grandma was a little girl, she made very special glass bead necklaces. Some of the beads were a deep blue like the ocean. My grandma would go to the fields and hold these in the sun. They would glisten and twinkle like diamonds and silver, and you could see the blue of the sky and the violets of the fields in them. My grandma had other beads too. She called these her glimmering greens. In the day they were turquoise and aqua, but at night they became the deep green of the forest. My grandma said if you held the glimmering greens just above the water at sunset in the lagoon where the sea was very calm, you could see all the colors of little fish swimming in them. My grandma was known far and wide for her necklaces. People walked over mountains and traveled for days to get to the village where my grandma lived just to see the beautiful glass bead necklaces. But it wasn't just the beautiful beads that made the necklaces famous. My grandma could make special patterns with the beads. First, she would use a deep blue one. Then she would carefully push the thin silvery needle with a special string through a glimmering green one. Then a blue one again, then another green. Blue, green, blue, green. My grandma was making a pattern. All right, friends, when we talk about one color and then another color, we call those our A-B patterns. A, B, A, B. So blue, green, blue, green. Sometimes my grandma would make a different pattern. 5 blues, then 5 greens, then 5 blues, then 5 greens. Boys and girls, I wonder how many beads she used if she used 5 blue, 5 green, 5 blue, and 5 green. Let's check it out. Here we have 5 blue, 5 green, 5 blue, and 5 green. How many beads did she use altogether? Think about it. Breathe it. Release it. All right, if you said 20, you were right. Or sometimes she would use 3 blues and 3 greens and then repeat that. My grandma made her necklaces in lots of sizes too. Some necklaces were really long and people would twist them and wear them in many loops. Some were middle size. These could be worn in single loops. Sometimes my grandma would make little ones for the children. Lots of people in the village tried to make necklaces too. My grandma told me that one day her cousin Maylee found 25 beautiful beads, 13 deep blue ones and 12 glimmering green ones, and decided to use them to make a necklace. First, she tried the blue-green pattern. Blue, green, blue, green. She worked quickly and soon she was almost done. 24 and 1 bead left to go, Maylee thought, and soon I will be famous just like my cousin. She placed the last bead on the string and tied it. Then she realized something had gone wrong. The pattern didn't work. She had 2 blue beads together. It took Maylee a long time to take all the beautiful beads off the string because she wanted to be careful not to lose any. Finally, she was done and ready to start a new necklace. I'll try the 5 and 5 pattern, Maylee thought. That pattern should work because 25 has a 5 at the end of it. So she started all over with 5 blue beads together and then 5 greens. 5 blue, 5 green, 5 blue. This time it will work, I'm sure. My necklace will be beautiful and I will be famous, Maylee thought. All the groups of 5 were looking so pretty. But something went wrong again. When Maylee placed the 20th bead on the string, she had 3 blue and 2 green beads left. This is so strange, Maylee thought. How did I get more blue beads or did I lose some green beads? She counted the beads very carefully. There were still 25 exactly. Very carefully, she took all 25 beads off the string, one by one. She put all the blue beads in a pile and counted them, 13. Next, she put the glimmering green ones in a pile and counted them, 12. Maylee was puzzled. All right, friends, now think about it. If she had 13 blue beads and 12 green beads, could she have made that 5 by 5 pattern? All right, I'll try the 3 blue and 3 green pattern, Maylee thought. Maybe 25 is the perfect amount for that pattern. 3 blue, 3 green, 3 blue. And she kept going, working very hard. Let's see if that pattern worked out for her. You ready? 3 blue, 3 green, 3 blue, 3 green, 3 blue, 3 green, 3 blue, 3 green. I'm going to give you a second to see, does that make 25? All right, let's see if it worked out for her. She wanted so much to be famous like her cousin, but she was becoming tired. Finally, she was at 24. The necklace looked really pretty so far, and soon she would be done. But then Maylee realized she had only 1 bead left, and it was blue. This pattern wouldn't work either. When she put the last bead on and tied the string, she had 4 blue beads together. When my grandma told me the story about Maylee, she was laughing, and then she leaned over and whispered in my ear, "You see, it's not just the beads that are special. The numbers are too. You have to think about the numbers. Only some numbers work." I thought and thought about what my grandma meant. Why would the numbers matter? That night, I got my crayons out and drew many pictures of necklaces. I tried lots and lots of different numbers. I made big necklaces and little necklaces and lots of different middle-sized ones. My grandma was right. Some numbers worked and some didn't. And some numbers that worked for the blue-green pattern didn't work for the other patterns. What a puzzle. That night, I dreamed of the deep blue glass beads like the ocean and the glimmering green ones with the fish swimming in them. My grandma was washing them in lagoons so they would glisten. Around her feet were numerals and the waves were washing them gently to shore. First a 2, then a 4, then a 6. And it was then that I knew. I woke up with a start and I knew. Numbers have patterns too. I knew the secret of the glass bead necklaces. I ran downstairs to tell my grandma. I whispered in her ear the secret and she smiled a big, big smile. "Does 30 work?" she asked me with her eyes twinkling. "Yes," I said. 30 is one of the really special numbers. It works for all the patterns, and I know some others that work too. And then my grandma took me by the hand and led me into her room and showed me a very old wooden box with silver mermaids painted on it. She opened it and took out a long necklace made with the beautiful glass beads. "I have just 1 necklace left," she said, "and I have been saving it for you. It is very old and special, so you must take very good care of it." Then she gently placed the beautiful glass bead necklace around my neck. There were exactly 30 beads. 15 deep blue ones like the ocean, and 15 glimmering green ones like the forest. And I could see the blue of the sky with the violets of the fields and all the colors of the fish swimming in the glass. The end. All right, friends, I have a challenge for you. Just like in the story with her grandma, I'm going to give you 30 beads. And I want you to come up with as many patterns as you can for the challenge. So you're going to have 30 beads. They're going to be blue and green. And how many different necklace patterns can you make? I cannot wait to see your work. Please send it to me, and I will see you again here tomorrow for story time. Bye, friends.